A few years ago, I learned that Federal sells most of their law enforcement-centric rounds on the open market in their law enforcement packaging. Buying law enforcement marked HSTs is the cheapest way per round to get the same ammo that you would get in the store. While making an order for HSTs, I also ran into a very good deal for their 223 Tactical True 55 grain soft. A company called Vista Outdoor owns a number of different outdoor companies that you are probably familiar with, including Camelback, Bell, Simmons, and others. However, for ammunition-centric companies, they also own Alliant Powder, CCI, Estate, Federal, Heavy Shot, Remington, and Speer. Given that Federal makes high-quality ammo, it shouldn't be surprising that they produce pistol, rifle, and shotgun ammunition for law enforcement agencies all around the country. However, focusing in on their rifle ammo, on le.vistaoutdoor.com, you can find a number of different loadings for their 223 ammo, including a bonded soft point coming in 55 and 62 grain, a standard soft point coming in 55 and 64 grain, and a Sierra open tip bullet coming in 55, 69, and 77 grain. They state that the fragmenting open tip bullets are intended for tactical entry, think SWAT team, and that the soft point expanding bullets are for their patrol officers. It's my understanding that this is because fragmenting bullets have a much lower likelihood of over-penetrating should a bullet go through a suspect into a wall or miss the suspect and go into the wall. They should fragment and fall apart. Well, a flat nose, soft-pointed bullet, especially a bonded bullet, will be far better at barrier penetration, and it will be more barrier blind. All of these cartridges are labeled 223 and not 556. I'm assuming that since these rounds are labeled in 223, that is for legacy reasons, since many law enforcement agencies in the past used Mini 14s or commercially available AR-15s chambered in 223 rather than 556. So since this rifle is chambered in 223 and not 556, let's check the velocity in a 16 and a 20-inch barrel. So this is starting with a 16-inch barrel. .28-29. .28-80. .28-54. .28-52. All right, let's try the Federal Premium Law Enforcement out of the 20-inch barrel. .30-46. 31-35. 30-24. 30-81. As I said in the PMC video 2 weeks ago, I'll shoot more rounds through the chronograph in the future so that we can get better data. That being said, with the 16-inch barrel, the average velocity was 2,854 feet per second, giving 995 energy foot-pounds. And with the 20-inch barrel, if we exclude the outlier, the average was 3,050 feet per second, giving 1,136 energy foot-pounds. And if we include it, the average goes up to 3,072 feet per second. Now, those numbers are about 200 feet per second lower than with the standard M193 556 that we've tested in the past. No doubt, 200 feet per second will give you a different bullet trajectory. However, I would like to note that this round gets its terminal performance from expansion rather than from fragmentation. So it doesn't need to match the velocity of M193 to have effectiveness on the intended target. Now, on the same website mentioned earlier, Federal has posted their terminal results with this and other loadings shooting through different mediums into calibrated ballistic gel. Ballistic gel and the clear gel that I used are not the same, and the results will vary between them. Hornady did a test a few years ago and found that ballistic gel and clear gel don't match, but in my opinion, the more tests we can get through different mediums, the better. So let's look at our terminal results. that is exactly what we want to see. So you see immediately a pretty wide sign of expansion right there. And then towards the end, you can see it was running out of juice. It was caught in this first t-shirt right here, just this gray one. And our bullet right here does not have a lot of fragmentation. It's all in one piece. It's sort of mushroomed out like a hollow point. Okay, now let's do the same thing, but with a 20-inch barrel, and we'll shoot a little lower right here. Honestly, our two tracks look pretty similar. Top is the 16-inch, bottom is the 20-inch. They look pretty similar. They look almost identical. Entrances, exits look almost identical. However, I want you to see how wide this bullet expanded. It got really flat right there. Now, this ammunition performed very well in both barrel lengths, and this information is verified by the results that Federal has posted on their website. There wasn't too much difference in the wound channels that I could see between the 16 and 20-inch barrels. However, clear gel is not great at showing the temporary wound channel that you would see if you were shooting into actual ballistic gel. We did see a slight increase in the expansion between these two rounds, and I'll include the measured expansion numbers on the screen right now. The last thing I'd like to test with this ammo is its accuracy at range. Like with the PMC ammo, I did not have this rifle as currently configured. I had it with just a red dot. Let's shoot the Federal Premium Law Enforcement. I believe that this ammunition significantly outshot me with this optic. Counting all 9 impacts, the group measured to 2 3/8 inches. I would say that with just a red dot, that is good enough for government work. Get it? Because it's a police trade-in ammo? Anyway, let's talk about the conclusion. So first, looking at the facts, this ammo comes from a manufacturer with a reputation for quality. It has a history of being used by the people who need to trust it the most. It had a good enough velocity, effective terminal performance, and it is more accurate than I am. Those are the facts. Now, as for my opinion, for field use, I'd favor a round with a little more juice, either in the form of higher velocity or for a heavier projectile. I think that that'll give me more performance out to longer ranges, be that in terms of accuracy, resistance to wind, less drop, or terminal performance once you get out to those longer ranges. However, for most law enforcement and civilian roles, where you're unlikely to shoot past 200 yards, like a home defense gun, truck gun, bag gun, I think that this ammunition would be an excellent choice. Between the range footage I recorded and now, I acquired this Bushmaster 11.5 upper. So if you would like to see me test this ammo in this gun to see how it performs at the lower velocities, leave a comment and I will see what I can do. Now, I'm 8mm Mauser Man, and I shot police ammo, but I lived on. Ace! You be the judge. That was way more explosion than I expected. Keep the change, you filthy animal.